All right, everybody, we have some breaking news from inside of the NFL. We have a player released from their team, and that player is, of course, Andy Dalton, something we've seen happening a little while ago. Obviously, with the drafting of Joe Burrow and going with going with him as a starter, he has a $17.7 million cap hit. It's obvious that this was going to be the move. It's all over. Breaking news: Bengals releasing Andy Dalton. I went to find an Andy Dalton GIF, and someone actually made this, and this was that's from Big Cat from Barstool, but he's released. Andy Dalton is officially a free agent. He was there for 9 years. The Bengals are pretty much going to be going with Joe Burrow, clearly, as the team starter going forward. It's a new era in Cincinnati. Obviously, when you draft a quarterback with the first pick, with Joe's potential and his skill, he's clearly going to become the starter. Let's look at Dalton's career. This is good. 133 games started. He threw for almost 31,594 yards. He had 204 passing touchdowns, 118 picks. He was above 500 as a starter with a 61-2 record with 5 playoff appearances. I don't think he won any of those, but since 2011, only 6 QBs have the following marks: 30,000 passing yards, 200 passing touchdowns, and 70 wins. That's Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, and, of course, Andy Dalton. So, I don't know. I feel like a lot of fans of Cincinnati are going to be it's a bittersweet moment for a lot of Cincinnati fans, right? Because I feel like they've always enjoyed Andy Dalton, and they've always kind of liked Andy, but the last few years there's been a giant struggle with losing Marvin Jones, losing Mohamed Sanu, losing his offensive line. Just everybody kind of left, and then all of a sudden it was Dalton with no offensive line and some pretty good receivers, but not exactly what he was typically used to having. So it just naturally came to an end. I'm certain that somebody will be picking up Andy Dalton. I mean, there's obviously they're quite excited because he's, Cincinnati fans are like, oh shit, we've got Joe Burrow to look forward to now. So, it's a good news and bad news for the Bengals fans, because you guys are losing one of your boys. He did bring you guys a lot of joy. You can see Cincinnati fans are a little bittersweet. And sparking immediate speculation. Now, what's next for Dalton? A lot of people are saying, that is he going to become a New England Patriot? Is he going to be a backup somewhere? Is he going to go to the Jaguars to compete with Gardner Minshew? What team is going to take him? Obviously, he won't be getting anywhere near his $18 million that he was getting paid this year from the Bengals, but somebody will take him as a backup. He's going to be a quality player. He could even go to some teams and challenge for the starting job. I still think he's a pretty good quarterback that has something left in him to prove. Give him an offensive line. We've seen what he can do when he actually has a little bit of time. There's playoff struggles. That's always a bit of a red flag. But again, backup, yeah, I would love to have him in Detroit as a backup. Are you kidding? I'd be like, get rid of that loser we got that we took from Chicago and get Andy in here as the backup. That's perfectly fine. Put a little pressure on Matthew Stafford. He's a good backup. He's a pressure putter on your starter. So I don't know. Clearly, this is for Cincinnati to save about $18 million in cap space and to get Joe Burrow ready to go. He's clearly going to be the starter. So it's the Joe Burrow era right now in Cincinnati. The Red Rifle era is over. Everything with Andy, he's no longer a Bengal. So what do you think down below? If you're a fan of the Bengals, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this move overall? Do you think it was good for the Bengals to just go with the future? I personally do. It's time for everybody to just get a fresh start. And let's see where this goes. I think the Bengals are doing the right move. I think Andy is going to find a place really quickly. But we'll see how everything plays out. Let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much for listening. And, of course, Dalton, released by the Bengals. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you tonight on the stream.